if you can say this for a good cause, then please be wise enough to stay out of a bad cause on the same person. You understand? I don't believe in the court of equity. If you are not ready to do what they want, you should do what you like on them. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
In the court of equity.
Yes.
If you are not ready to do what Shatta Wale wants from you, you should do what you also like from him.
Yeah.
Because in that jurisdiction, you are trying to play smart. And if you want to use his name to trend negatively, he also have to milk you in any way he feels right.
Positive, yeah.
I will never blame any management for some of the foul conversation that happened, especially when it's a live TV.
Okay.
If it would have been a pre-recorded show, then that one, you had every right to edit certain things out.
Before they go
before
out.
airing it.
Yeah.
But you see, on air, it's not scripted. You can't predict the mindset of the pundit or whoever is seated there.
And again, you can't direct
Thank
their
you.
path for them.
So when it comes out, it is up to the, how do you call it? The presenter or the lead, the anchor, the host, to coordinate the conversation. There are only two ways. The first way is Shatta Wale is suing one of them, which I never see happening because Shatta Wale is one person, no matter how angry he is, he never wants to see someone behind counterback because of him. No matter how, he would rather deal with you personally. Yes. So I never see that happening. And the second part is, you see that mindset they are using to build that. You remember gone were the day Shatta Wale was the one fighting for himself. Yes. But I see all of a sudden he has those soldiers online that people are now fighting for. That is what
Fans
God. That is what God
everywhere
will do. Right now, people who used to speak against Shatta Wale are now understanding him, and now United Showbiz, some of their pundits are now speaking for him.
Ride or drive with Shaxi. Download the Shaxi ride-hailing app and sign up as a driver or rider. Get Shaxi today from the Google Play and Apple App Store today.
I think in Ghana, in our showbiz space, many followers of this industry can attest to the fact that there seems to be some kind of friction between Team United Showbiz and Team Shatta Movement. And we still don't understand what the real problems are. Of course, there are many people who have talked about how Shatta Wale approaches his issues. But the big question is, does he just act or he react? These are two different things. How someone acts or someone reacts, they are two different things. Today, in the edition of Real Talk with Long John, we are looking at what really can be the solution to the long-standing kind of confusion, misunderstanding between some elements, and let me clarify it that way, between some elements on some shows. And we are talking about TV radio shows. But this time around, our focus will be on UTV. Because not long ago, just last weekend, we all have seen excerpts, even those who were not able to watch the full video or the full show, we all have seen excerpts of MC Yeboah who was attacking Shatta Wale from head to toe. All because Shatta Wale, in his own wisdom, saw the need not to prolong matters between him and his ex-manager Bulldog. Therefore, he decided to do the honorable thing by meeting with Bulldog's lawyers and, of course, agreeing with them that, okay, if this is your request, why not? I'll grant the request for you. After all, what else? Let life go on. And that is it. Shatta did not really strike the issues that much. Bulldog comes online or on air, talks about accepting the apology and not wanting anything more from Shatta Wale apart from legal costs here, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. When we thought, oh, even the person who is hurt is okay. The other person, a watcher, observer, an ally, decides to throw dirt on Shatta Wale. And many are disappointed. When you go online, Many are angry. Many are mad. In today's edition with Long John, we want to look at some of the possibilities. What really such elements tend to look at or tend to look for, and what maybe the solution can be. Then there is also the other side, a certain Ziga, who would also go ahead and speak any language because he wants to speak it. Long John is my guest in today's edition of The Real Talk. Long John, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Were you able to watch last week, Saturday's United Showbiz?
Yeah, it was very personal, so at a point I had to just stop.
Oh, you were watching actually live?
Yeah, I saw the excerpt. So when I saw some of the, especially from Nana
MC Yeboah, that's the name.
And then Ziga, it got to a point I was getting pissed and I had to stop. Because the conversation was below belt. If you actually listen to them on radio, you might think these are wise people, but you will get disappointed after realizing how old they are and they're sitting on TV speaking that. Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you. I would like, you see, if there's something you want to say.
No, go ahead and talk. Just that I wanted to ask a follow-up on what do you mean by when you listen to them, you might think they are wise until...
So you see, MC Yeboah seems to have a problem with Shatta Wale.
That nobody knows why.
And she's hiding behind the curtains of people's issues that come up with Shatta to reveal what she wants to do to Shatta. You were asked a simple question about Shatta's ordeal with a co-pundit on the same show.
Yeah.
In the wisdom of every normal human, you can just decide to, be very diplomatic, decide to just stick to the issues. Oh, that's very, because even with this, it's one of the strange things Shatta does, like to actually come at someone and come out to apologize.
Yeah.
So for him to even do this, it should be something that you laud or you applaud.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see Ajoye before you see something negative in this. You understand? And then let's put that aside. Now let's focus on what really occurred. You see, the details of that matter, you must respect the fact that in this industry, most times, Shatta Wale is not the one who starts the problem. That is where I have
we have known that since.
So you see, if MC Yeboah sits down on camera or sits behind the camera and talk to Shatta Wale like she's talking to her first child that she has given birth to, that is why I have my problem. First of all, Shatta is way ahead of you in life. If you are talking about role models, the things Shatta Wale can put down for even your children to look out to become like, I don't think any of them will even choose you over Shatta.
Yeah.
Shatta Wale is someone who has built a practical life for people to be able to follow the lifestyle from bandana and say, I can also make it.
Fact.
We also don't know your life. Oh, lifestyle, you need to be free. So if you want to come at somebody who has built a superstar status, you don't come disrespecting the person because of, you see, if the disrespect came because of Shatta's reaction at that time, I have no problem. But it is coming from a good word from Shatta, which I don't understand why you should take it in that context.
Yes.
Well, you are talking, we have to talk to that person that was so just suddenly here. I didn't know. Haven't you seen in this industry other artists attack? What's somebody in December? Whose fault was it? We've seen countless edition. Artists go on Hits FM, attack their fellow artists. Unabated. Is it only Shatta Wale you are trying to call to order?
No.
Besides, if it is indeed the case you want to talk about, let's stick to the corridors of that case.
Okay.
Who started the attack? It was Bulldog. And you see, the issue about that, the details about that issue is that we know Shatta Wale for what he can do when you start coming at him.
Exactly.
He wouldn't come at you when he knows you have nothing to lose. No. He will come at you where it will hurt you.
Yeah.
Whether true or untrue, you are coming at him where it feeds him. He will come at you where it will hurt you, whether true or untrue. That is Shatta Wale. So if you know this, and you stick to your guns, then be ready for it. You know Shatta Wale does this. you MCI Yeboah, you accept the fact that Shatta Wale does this. Then you ask yourself, is it that Shatta Wale gets up and all of a sudden he starts insulting Bulldog, starts calling him names? No.
He doesn't do that.
So if that isn't the case, what did Bulldog do to trigger those emotions to warrant that counter reaction?
I know many have forgotten about that.
That is what the issue is. And if you can be very honest, who actually stepped on the toe of Shatta Wale? I think it was about him leaking his album.
His album track list, yeah.
What is more damning than some? Look at how many years Shatta Wale took to promote that album. Then all of a sudden, within less than few minutes, you just go on radio, disclose the artists on the album, disclose some of the album titles, disclose cover art. Like, how would you feel?
I think he also posted it online also.
Yes,
yeah.
How would you feel? Somebody copyrights and you see one thing, the beauty about Shatta Wale is every wrong, and I know today people will not celebrate him, but in future people will bet me today. People will reference Shatta Wale and celebrate him for this. What am I talking about? Shatta Wale doesn't take his matters to court, and most of his matters that people use on him, if he's supposed to take to court, usually like 70 to 80%, he will be able to win hands down. Because some of the issues they bring has no basis and no merit.
Yeah. He says he does not see the need.
Thank you.
To court because they can't even pay.
That is the truth. Yeah. Because in the end they can't pay and they have to be in jail. And Shatta Wale, being an experienced person who has been through that, would they want to see somebody in jail? If you ask any content creator, the reason why they applaud Sarkodie most time is because of the fact that Shatta Wale most time, because of the fact that he's the only artist in Ghana who allows them to use his music without trying to infringe their videos on copyright.
Yeah.
That is the difference. Shatta Wale tries to allow people to leverage on his brand. If you are deciding to attack him and he has decided he's not taking you to court, he will attack you in the same measure.
Give and take.
This is a give and take issue. Because assuming Shatta Wale decided, okay, I wouldn't reply you. Let's go to court. Do you think Bulldog will not be the one paying the 1 million and everything they are discussing? Do you think Bulldog wouldn't be the one sending big men to go and apologize to Shatta Wale? But today, because he has used a false narrative, which he has accepted, and decided to apologize, instead of applauding him, you are now sitting on TV to incite more violence, to make him feel, you see, and that is where my issue is. When you trigger him like that, and he comes back to, not to reply you, but to reply your bosses, you call him names.
Exactly.
Your boss is sitting somewhere.
It's like you said in your submission earlier, that when Shatta Wale is coming at you, he comes at where it will
hurt you, because you are coming at where it hurts him. That is him. He knows you. If you have something to lose, you not sit on TV and be talking about people like that. That's why if I sit behind camera, I always make sure it's very constructive. If you come hard, I'll come hard. If you come so, before you came here, I told you this. I'm coming hard at them because what I saw, it was disgusting. When someone does something good, my angel be and stop creating enmity within it.
Fact.
The person has done something good.
Fact.
Let's laud him. Let's applaud him for what he's done. If he wouldn't have apologized, then it could have been a different issue.
Okay.
You are still sitting on TV. How will he continue to be doing all this? I don't honor your bobine. And even Nyame himself has written in his Bible, he is slow to anger. Even God is slow to anger. Yes. How much more Shatta Wale?
It means he gets angry.
He gets angry.
At the end of the day.
Yes, at the end of the day, he gets angry. So if Nyame only emotions, he's slow to anger. Who is Shatta Wale? So if in the end Shatta has done something and realized, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, and I'm sorry, and he has apologized, not in private but in public. Then you want to attack him, calling him names for rampantly doing that. The people he does it to, what did they do before he responded? You see, and we shouldn't be allowing this kind of. This time around, some of us, we are not going to sit down for people to just use people's name like that. If Shatta is wrong, we all sit here and discuss it. Oh, it could have gone this way, it could have done. But in this particular situation, what did Shatta do wrong for you to sit on TV and make it look like even the apology he brought was wrong? Because the way he spoke, that's how it looked like. I didn't see now. So your whole person, Shatta. It's like you have a bad mind for Shatta. And you see the funniest thing, that dream B, that it is in your face Shatta will be getting the blessings.
Yeah.
It is in your face. Yeah. Because he's now going to become greater. Because what you are wishing for him, you are not God. And you see the funny thing, the difference between you, Bibinina, Obodukuna, Auditina UTV, and Shatta Wale Menese, he is looking at his heart. You are looking at his appearance. That is the difference. That is why the blessings coming is based on the quantum of the heart. That's why God keeps blessing. If they were wicked intention, he wouldn't be getting what he's getting.
Fact.
Because no matter how you guys have always tried to blacklist him, he's always the one people come in from outside want to see.
No, that is fact. That is factual. That is factual. Now, Long John, my question is simple. Is there going to be a solution soon to this? Is there going to be an end to this? Not only on, say, UTV, but on other platforms that host other people like this. The fact that sometimes they really spend time denigrating artists, not only Shatta Wale, even at this stage, let's go beyond Shatta Wale. Is that thing going to end?
The truth is, there are only two ways. The first way is Shatta Wale is suing one of them, which I never see happening, because Shatta Wale is one person, no matter how angry he is, he never wants to see someone behind counterback because of him. No matter how, he would rather deal with you personally. Yes. So I never see that happening. And the second part is, you see that mindset they are using to build that. Remember gone were the day Shatta Wale was the one fighting for himself.
Yes.
But I see all of a sudden he has built soldiers online that people are now fighting for. That is what God will do. Right now, people who used to speak against Shatta Wale are now understanding him. And now United Showbiz, some of their pundits are now speaking for him. You ask yourself, what have they seen? What have they seen?
You're right.
Was it not the same Arnold that was on United Showbiz attacking Shatta Wale for an action?
Yeah.
Against Yeboah, who was the one defending?
Yeah, I know.
What has he seen? Because they sit down to realize every narration they were putting out about Shatta Wale. No! They were rushing those narrations. We should have taken time to understand this guy. There was something he was trying to say. And all those things were factual. We were telling this guy he was a drug guy, but it seems he knew everything he was doing. So in the end, he wasn't a drug guy. And the things he was talking about, they were a real problem that were affecting the industry. And that is why today you will have somebody like Arnold, the learned guy, sit on TV and defend Shatta Wale. Because he has realized, we made mistakes. We were following blindly. Some of the narrations Shatta Wale was talking about were honest truth. And probably he wouldn't say the way I say it.
No.
But the way he puts it is best for him.
Yes. That is how he's
you understand?
That's how he's learned to communicate his
Yes. You understand? So if you with time, we will see people grow up to fight for Shatta Wale. And Shatta wouldn't have to make any noise. Because you see, some of us have now grown to understand that there was a scheme against Shatta Wale for him to look evil. And now that veil has been unveiled, we see through everything these media houses do.
I know, right?
Yes, that is why you people can sit on TV and say everything. Even you, the one bashing Shatta Wale, after you go to the comments section, people are insulting you. Yeah, because they see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
They are trying everything to make Shatta Wale look evil. But in the end, he's the only artist, or one of the few artists, that gives cars to his fans. Yeah. Something Nigerian artists do easy. He makes it look so simple, like cars how do you call it, like baby diapers. You understand? But when it comes to Ghanaian artists who gives out cars, I'm sure it will just be a few. And the few, you can't take away Shatta Wale's name.
You are right. You are right.
So some of the things he does in this industry, I believe with time, they are going to be growing militants who will fight for him, and you have to sit down and watch them. That's what will happen.
Already it is happening. We see many of the fans
who
come online when some of these things are happening.
Yeah.
Especially after that show. I've seen countless posts.
Of course.
From people going at MCI.
Because now social media
not right.
Social media is now a strong tool where people are now learning how to use it for a positive impact.
Okay.
So if you want to sit home and decide to use traditional media to destroy personality that people honor, people love, through their story, people have gained hope, through their life, people have believed in themselves. And you want to use just 5 minutes of traditional media to destroy whatever they built. I'm not sure they'll be happy with you. And I say smartphone boy nyade.
That be.
I'm telling you to your face.
You are free the world.
You get it, pepe.
Yeah.
So they can continue. But Shatta, right now at this point, wouldn't have to talk too much. God himself will raise giants for them to work for him. That was no problem.
Well, so that is Long John's position at the moment, and I'm happy that he is not the only person who has seen some of these unnecessary attacks on celebrities, musicians in Ghana. And in this case study, like I said, we are using Shatta Wale versus UTV as our case study. Now, in wrapping up, Long John, we are closing. Do you think sometimes maybe management of UTV, or better still, Despite Media, should come in when some of these things come up? Because over the years, we have seen, because of this same radio TV stuff at Despite, Shatta had issues with their boss. And I know many of them were not happy about that. The last time I wanted to run some promo on one of their channels, and OKFM to be specific. The producers told me, Charlie, here, sake of your man and our money issues, sometimes this and that and that and that. I said, okay, no problem, that's fine. That is fine. Now, is someone one day coming forward to tell the people on the show that, okay, because of this and that, moving forward, we want you to be very careful or particular about this name, or we should let them to flow so that if another time, another year what happens, then we manage it like that.
I have not spoken on Ziga. I want to speak on Ziga's issue.
Okay, cool.
Ziga, another big problem. He has been one man I've been admiring in the political space. I don't know when he drifted into entertainment. He should make us know where he's heading towards, because he can't be confusing us. If you are doing panditry, do it, and if you are supporting a particular artist, support with your face. And stop doing this as you are trying to speak sense, but you are trying to attack somebody you don't like.
Okay.
I mean, for Ziga to even sit on TV and say, live TV and say, Shatta Wale's career is stagnant. It's one of the most lamest conversations.
And that for the past 10 years, he has not
had a hit song. This is somebody who talks about Osno, NDC and NPP. One man and Mike. What can he say about entertainment? What can he say? He spends all his life following the NPP and NDC. How many minutes will he come and spend? The only time you hear about Shatta is when he's in the trend. He doesn't follow anybody's works until you're in the trend. Such a guy, you give him a mic, and this is what he's come to say. And you give him full camera to say this nonsense. Somebody who was honored to take private jet from his country and go to another country to perform on a global stage. You are just saying his career is stagnant. Do you understand a stagnant career? Someone who currently, the artist with the biggest song globally, who is called Molly. She had the opportunity for this superstar to post her on his Instagram story. And she's head over heels. For just that post, not a page post too. Like the way Shatta posted me. This is just story 24 hours.
And it's gone.
And she's so thankful. This is the man you are calling a stagnant career artist.
It's sad.
You see, when you sit down
where
and
people
watch,
lose stock, and they go scot-free.
There's no science and data to even back those assertions. You just sit down because of pure hatred. Okay, sir, based on pure hatred. There's no sense, because if you want to pull science and data, currently, who are the biggest song? Africa Madiba, go look at the streams. We are talking about songs backing with science and data. You are here telling the guy he doesn't have the biggest song. Yet this year he has a hit song. He has songs performing well in all the guitar stores. But you sit in that studio, and just because you have bitterness against him, tell him that he doesn't have a hit song. When the real artists who don't have a hit song, you don't even talk about them. You struggle to mention their name. But somebody who is trying to put Ghana on the map, somebody who, till today, international Hollywood artists still comment on his posts to appreciate his craft. You the one sitting on United Showbiz, you are the one telling them that, Aze, on your baby. It's quite sad.
Yeah.
It's quite sad because one of our biggest musical exports, the only artist that has a music genre on Apple Store.
Apple Music, yeah.
The only artist Ghana has ever given to Apple Store say Monfan genre. You are bringing him down. So what again do you people want? First of all, it was TV3 allowing somebody to go and ransack Akodia down. His career is dead. This time, an industry person is the one running Shatta Wale down. The only artist with a genre.
And everybody seems to be watching. Do you know what is painful? What is painful is that
when Shatta Wale replies.
That's what I was going to say.
That is where the
now all these attacks on Shatta Wale from her, everybody is watching. I've not seen anybody. Well, I can't say I've not seen anybody because I've seen some 1 or 2 people.
And those are even the same people.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even industry people. You see how industry people are quiet.
I've not seen any like
neutral. Yes.
No,
quiet.
It. But one day,
when Shatta Wale decide to talk,
decide to just respond to one of the several things that she has said.
Everything these people have said and call him names.
Saying so many things.
This is what we are dealing with. This is what we are dealing with. So when you see through all these things, there's one thing I would like to advise you viewers. Not everything you see on social media or hear on traditional media about Shatta Wale, you should take it hook, line, sinker. Because I'm telling you for a truth, almost 70 to 80% on traditional media do not like Shatta Wale for reasons best known to them.
What you chop from them?
Only them can explain. Like last time you telling me that somebody wanted a birthday wish, and because he didn't get it, he then Shatta to get issue.
Yeah, Shatta. That was Akwaboah.
You see?
Yes, that was Akwaboah.
These are some of the industry people you are dealing with too. They can have an issue with you based on something just, and you the artist, you might not know.
You might not know, yeah.
You do understand?
Yeah.
So if you see industry person sitting on social media, sitting on TV, attacking an artist, don't take everything, including me, don't take everything hook, line, sinker. Because some of these narrations are more than what you may see. And the projection they are trying to make you look or see isn't the fact on the ground. I'm telling you. I'm being honest with you. Some people, their hatred for some of these artists, you just wouldn't understand. Because I say, Obi Akwakoye Adoye, someone is going to do donation. Then you find fault in the donation. This is the industry you are dealing with. He has come out to apologize, boy. He doesn't apologize, boy. He responds, boy. He doesn't respond, boy.
Oh my goodness. In fact, it is part of the reasons why this year I'm sure he decided to even stay very calm at his corner, observing what is happening, and maybe when it is time for him to strike, we all feel the issues. Well, let me add this finally. We've spoken to some of our people, some of our legal people and all that, and they also have their own steps in handling some of these things. I'm sure in the meantime, we will see what advice or what direction or what counsel, as we call them, as what counsel they will give to us. And I'm sure when they do, we would also start making our own moves on that. But apart from that,
you asked me a question.
Yeah.
The last question, and I said I would speak on Ziga. I've forgotten.
I think I was asking about whether there will be a solution to this, or or I was rather saying that should Shatta rather come and react. You answered all the things I wanted to ask. You answered all the things I wanted to ask, unfortunately. But I don't know if you have something to say finally, so we can wrap up.
Mine is, the only thing Shatta Wale has now is the SM fans. And the only people who know Shatta Wale better are the SM fans. You people have followed the journey from the beginning. You saw the guy who started from the gutters. The guy who had to go through shit to get himself where he is. Now he's at Trasako. You saw the journey. They claimed wherever he's staying will be taken for how many weeks, how many months. He's still staying there. That should tell you how resilience, determination is. If you decide to get your mind focused, no man born of a woman can stop you. So follow that journey, and don't allow these traditional people having their personal grudges with people try to change your narrative about what you see in this idol God has given you. Because some of these superstars, they come once in a lifetime. And then, when Michael Jackson died, we always said, oh, there will be a better one coming. So now,
none came.
We've never gotten his replacement.
Never.
There was an artist called Prince. The same thing.
Yeah.
There are certain artists, you'll never get them. It could be we'll never get a Shatta Wale again.
Yeah.
And this is the only
The universe produces just limited editions of such people.
And this is the only time we can make them know we appreciate who they are, we love them, and we will continue to support them regardless of whatever life throws at them. That's basically what I have to say.
Well, we are also taking advice or counsel from some of our legal advisors on some of these things and what we can do moving forward, because Shatta Wale indeed has decided to also change his approach on some of these things.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes. I believe at every point in time, many people think Shatta will come in, rant. Yes, he says enough of that. Until maybe he's provoked beyond what he can take, then he would go ahead. But until that, he is going to also find different ways to address some of these things. And that is what we are doing. It is unfortunate. We want better relationship between the media and the artist. But the media seems to always be muddying that relationship. They don't want the relationship to be beautiful.
I was even about to say something. You called United UTV that you wanted to do an editorial there, and they didn't allow you.
Is that I called them?
Yeah, you said something like you tried getting in touch with them so that you can speak about Shatta Wale or something, and they refused. Or
no, I said at a point I was doing some promotion, and I called one of their channels, OKFM to be specific. When we released Joe Leslie, remember the media house I dealt with, most of them did flyers for me. With them, when I contacted the people who I wanted them to deal with, they said, oh, because of the issues, to them they can't even do a flyer.
So you see,
and the person told me, oh, they will do it, and even they have been playing the songs all right, but for them to do a flyer, some questions will be coming up.
Let's be very logical. If you can say this for a good cause, then please be wise enough to stay out of a bad cause on the same person. You understand? I don't believe in the court of equity. If you are not ready to do what they want, you should do what you like on them. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
In the court of equity,
yes.
If you are not ready to do what Shatta Wale wants from you, you should do what you also like from him.
Yeah.
Because in that jurisdiction, you are trying to play smart. And if you want to use his name to trend negatively, you also have to milk you in any way he feels right.
Positive, yeah.
But if they had accepted that, then I'll say, sir, okay, we give you good content to post. So if you decide to, because you see, you asked me something about talking about the management of UTV.
Okay.
Their direction and how they handle those kind of
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I asked that question. As to whether sometimes they intervene to make sure they don't.
Let me be very honest. I'm a media person. I will never blame any management for some of the foul conversation that happen, especially when it's a live TV.
Okay.
If it would have been a pre-recorded show, then that one, you had every right to edit certain things out
before they go
before
out.
airing it.
Yeah.
But you see, on air, it's not scripted. You can't predict the mindset of the pundit or whoever is seated there.
And again, you can't direct
their
path for them.
So when it comes out, it is up to the how do you call it, the presenter or the lead, the
host.
anchor, the host,
to
coordinate the conversation. You understand? So you can only throw more attack at the host if they don't do it in the right manner. But I don't believe the management as a whole have a little or more to do about it. What they can do after probably is to reach out to the person and try to sort things out or get in touch. But as sameness, you see, and one reason why I don't even have an issue, because this is what media houses are for discussions. You understand? That is why every media house try to disassociate themselves from some of the comments that will be made on their platform. Because omu nim adwen na nipa na wa friend no e de ba bet now. So they have little or no idea. So there's no way I'll have any blame against any hierarchy at United UTV or Shape House. Okay. I believe they are running a business, but it is the power rests on the onus of the presenter to control the narrative. Ensure if there are any misleading discussion, he or she brings them back into the topic, or if there are any form of disrespect, he or she brings them back into the discussion. I don't know if you're getting me.
I get it.
That is why Shatta Wale always had serious respect for Nana McBrown. Yeah. Because she always controlled anybody that said anything wrong about Shatta Wale. Do you understand?
I get it.
So that is why it ends. It ends within the confines of, because it's a live TV.
Yeah.
It's a live TV program. You can't control it.
It is hard for you to edit what is going on.
And even with you, when you were even doing your show, I'm sure you accept the fact that that's said a lot of
so many
stuff
times.
that you
not once.
Sometimes you even get shocked.
Because I did not expect that to come out.
Thank you. But I like TV.
Yeah.
But do the management of the station get involved?
No.
They just, because they are also running their business. They are businessmen. You understand? So they are not even part of it. But mine is people who work within the space. You work with the creative. Or presenter, no. Only creative in the year, you will need him or her one day. So you try and make sure people don't come and muddy themselves on your platform.
I get it. Guys, we are watching, we are observing closely. One day, we will strike. One day, when it becomes necessary, the world will also hear from us. My name is Sammy Flex. I did this with Long John, the blogger. And of course, if you've enjoyed this, let's read some of your comments in there. Let's also connect once again, subscribe to us, and let's do some more. I did this with my production team as well. Theophilus Digosh, Desert, and Sam Tuga. We will surely be meeting again here on the same platform for us to do some more. We're out of here. Salute.
Everybody check now. Check it. Fa check it. Fa check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't will make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it, check it. Fa check it, check it. Fa check it, fa check it, check it, check it. Green select glucometer, check it, fa check it, check it, check it. Put sugar level, fa check it, fa check it, check it, check it. Fa check it, fa check it, check it, check it. Green select glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.